All right, so the questions that we asked this evening: SIR leading to mass deletions in Uttar Pradesh, in West Bengal. Is SIR purification or exclusionary? Does the EC need to be more transparent? Fear-mongering by opposition parties is a charge that has been laid by the government. All right, let me take all these questions first to Dr. S.Y. Quraishi, former CEC. Mr. Quraishi, thank you for taking the time out and joining us on News Today. First up, the focus, Mr. Quraishi, is back on the EC's adherence to statutory procedures. Compared to the past elections in which you presided over roll revisions, what is the difference?
Well, there is no doubt that the purification of electoral rolls is the first responsibility of the Election Commission. In fact, I take you back to the framing of the Constitution. That was the time when the decision was being taken that since the elections will be held only once in 5 years, why should we have even a single officer full time? Only at the time of election we will appoint a CEC. That is when it was said that no, electoral rolls have to be updated every year, for which we need an officer. So let us have at least one officer, which will be the CEC, and that is how CEC institution was born. So the point here is that the focus on the purification of electoral roll and a regular updation is a constitutional mandate and a legal mandate without doubt. Right. At the same time, I would like to say that for the last 75 years, all of us have been making all kinds of efforts to update and purify the roles, some with success, some with lesser success, but all of us have been working on it. Now, in 2003 and 4, we used to have an intensive revision. That is also for sure. That is true. But in 2003, it was decided by the then commission that now that you have digitized the electoral roll, it is easier, better to update them every year by going door to door. Now, throwing out the existing roll into the dustbin totally and starting afresh, that leads to my question that what took us 30 years to achieve 99 perfection, these people think that they will do it in 30 days. Fantastic if they do it, congratulations and very well done, but it's impossible. It's impossible. The kind of deletions will happen, the kind of complaints will crop up. You will see as the situation develops.
All right, so you're saying to complete an exercise in 30 days, which usually have taken years, will lead to further chaos. So should, one final question, Mr. Quraishi, before I let you go. So should the EC come clean with safeguards that could prevent perception of bias? Because you have the TMC, and I'm going to take you through on some of the points that they want relief on. They've approached the top court of the country, the Supreme Court, while on the other hand, there have been about 2 crores 80 lakh deletions in the state of Uttar Pradesh. That has also been contested. Now, should the EC, where these concerns are concerned, and these are concerns that they have raised, that the EC should extend the deadline for submitting claims and objections, that the EC should stop issuing formal instructions through channels like WhatsApp, that the EC ensure no voter is left out because of erroneous mapping, which there is already a pause. The EC has given an explanation on that account, that the EC do away with extra statutory category described by it as a logical discrepancy, that the EC allow booth-level agents to assist voters during hearings. So there are a number of issues that the TMC has raised. Do you think the EC needs to take it in the right spirit and address them point by point?
Yes, absolutely. In fact, it all boils down to transparency. Exactly everything that they do should be transparent, and they should be open to the suggestions and criticism of the public and the opposition and address them to their satisfaction. Now, taking you to Bihar, the initial exercise was started in the name of foreigners. Oh, there are so many foreigners and we have to identify them and throw them out. Wonderful idea. You should do it. And what is it that we found? Number one, is, we haven't heard from Election Commission how many foreigners were found. We only heard from the media that in 8 crore Biharis who were made to run around around from pillar to post. They were able to find 500 foreigners, of which 150 were Bangladeshis and 350 were Hindu women from Nepal
from
who
Nepal.
had come by marriage to
Right.
Bihar.
But Mr.
So
Qureshi,
we would like, yeah.
the defense of the EC has been in through it all, that where Bihar is concerned, because you're using Bihar as an example, that there were no complaints that were filed by political parties and activists.
Yeah, yeah, actually, that's a point which is quite baffling. At the same time, I have heard only on the media, I know nothing from the horse's mouth, that the people who went to complain to BLO, because BLO was the frontline person, they were shooed away. So all 65 lakhs just keeping quiet, and let there be an external audit even now whether the 65 lakh deletion.
Okay.
After all, in the Supreme Court, people appeared who had been declared dead. By there may have been no appeal and no complaint, but they're declared dead and deleted. They appeared before the Supreme Court. Sir, I'm alive. I'm here, and I've been deleted. So
Okay.
what about the explanation of all these cases?
All right. So one final point, Mr. Qureshi. You're saying the EC needs to be transparent. It needs to address all the points that have been raised by the TMC in West Bengal. You have the Samajwadi Party and the Congress in the state of Uttar Pradesh. Come clean, give point-by-point rebuttal to all the clauses that have been raised by both parties. Correct, sir? That's what you're saying.
Absolutely. And also
And
you brought in
and you're saying
yeah,
extend the timeline.
yes, so exactly. In Bihar, one could understand that there was very time available, but this is an exercise which goes on around the year. Pick up the
Okay.
states which are going to poll 3 years down the line. Why immediately which are going to poll in 2 months and create all the chaos and demand for extension by a week, by a fortnight. So all the still feel that the last word is yet to be heard, and even out of 65 lakhs, how many were illegally deleted? This will all come out in due
Okay.
course.
All right, sir. Thank you for joining us and taking the time out. Let's take all these
Uh,
questions. Well,
One,
okay, yes, make your
one,
point, sir, very
Preeti,
quickly.
if I can make. Yeah, you had mentioned about artificial intelligence and the misuse of computer. That is a very serious charge, and that's a very serious possibility. We
Okay.
again, the election commission should come clean whether they have hired some agencies using artificial intelligence to.
Okay.
I would not say manipulate the role, but to manage the rules. So that also has to be clear,
Okay.
to
Now that's a
clarify to the
charge,
people.
fair point. So you're saying, the EC needs to come clean on that, because I'll just elaborate what the charge is. The TMC says that the EC is using artificial intelligence via the BJP IT cell, that is deleting, roles and names from the West Bengal voter list through artificial intelligence. Now that's a charge that the TMC government and Mamata Banerjee is making. Thank you, Mr. Qureshi, for taking the time out and joining us.